Hi everybody, I'm Kelley Harrell and you're listening to What in the Weird. Today I'm going to talk about claiming your calling. So what's the deal with calling? I made a post on my website a couple of months ago called The Most Unreasonable Decision of Your Life. Go read it. It's at soulintentarts.com. If you search for it, there it will be. It has generated a metric ton of hubbub. Good hubbub, but still the unsettled, raw, won't go away kind for a lot of people. I'm still getting emails about that post. What is calling? I've talked for years about how calling isn't just a feeling that we've been put on earth to carry out some unique mission. It's a state of being that we align with. We stay up late at night fiddling with it, honing it, tweaking it to get it right so that the rawness is somehow soothed, maybe even fulfilled. Cool, yeah? Okay. But somewhere in the dawn of the New Age and off-road spirituality, we've come to believe that it's calling or die. And maybe it is. I'm a work in progress. I don't know everything. I know that for me, calling is a deep drive to keep doing what I do. We've internalized this calling as core programming that we've had since birth, or at least relatively young, that's carved in stone. And if we don't find it and do it, we suck. Am I right? I think the idea that calling our life purpose as something we know with utter clarity from birth is bullshit. Some people may know it. I think the rest of us get these visceral hits for when something has meaning for us. Hey, I can do that. This is something I'm really good at. This is something I can do that improves my life and other people's. Or this is something that when I do it, I feel improved and the space around me feels improved. A dangerous trope in the New Age is that everything has to have meaning. It's a form of spiritual bypass. We skip the emotional toil of hard things in favor of the mental exercise we attribute to spiritual maturity as finding the meaning. It's easier than facing the reality that sometimes things are dark and meaningless, or that all of our work to meet that base calling just doesn't work out the way we envisioned. The truth is, sometimes we just have to live into how it all takes shape and forms. We have to work with the pieces of the puzzle that we do know, not the ones we don't, and stay on this wild goose chase to constantly find them. For those of you who don't know, I used to run a national nonprofit that brought peer support to adult survivors of child sexual assault. And one of the base tenets of healing in that community is what you know is enough. It isn't about trying to heal what you don't know. It isn't about trying to uncover these details, this constant scavenger hunt of what you don't know. What you know is enough. And the same thing applies to your calling. The caveat here is that you don't need to mine a bunch of details to address your calling. The feeling of it, seating into that state of being your calling, is enough to generate the momentum to see where it leads you. You take those pieces you do know about it and you connect them to tactile acts that you can carry out every day. You have to put yourself in the place of living calling. I said this in the Unreasonable Post, though calling is merely a signal. It's just the beginning of doing what you do here. Calling doesn't have you on a leash, carefully leading you toward where to go and what to do when you get there. So no, you don't follow calling, as the New Age says. You claim it. You activate it. As an animist, I say you become it so that you wear it around through everything you do, from brushing your teeth to charity work to paying the bills to singing to the gods. As you do those things, you get these little hits of release that lead you into how to become your calling more deeply. It's not just served up on a platter. And it's not something reserved for super special spiritual people or clergy or activists or healers. It's called being human, being able to compassionately funnel natural gifts into something that addresses all our needs. And that hunger or yearning to give meaning to your existence never sates, even when you're spot on doing your calling. It never slows down or tells you to take the day off. That's the part that we're missing in the West. We don't have a lineage of elderhood that can tell us these things, that can tell us it's always taking shape. You may have felt the tug since birth or since you were 10 years old, but calling is ever changing. We're constantly reinventing the wild path of spiritual life because it is constantly changing. Our cosmologies, our spirit allies, our spiritual paths are no more static than we are as people. Our callings won't be either. So I say, do what you're doing out loud and like somebody's chasing you, because really you're chasing you. I'm Kelley, and this is What in the Weird. And I encourage you to do something ridiculously unreasonable and drop me a line about it when you do. You can reach me through Anchor or at Kelley, Kelley, @soulintentarts.com. Dream well.